USA movement is just trying to bring us back to a generation that we fought so hard to overcome.
Her message is a singular message. It is the Christian right. It is supporting MAGA. It is the ridiculous pageantry of Charlie Kirk's.
I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy.
Erika Kirk is under intense pressure right now, and it's no longer something that can be brushed aside with a smile or stage lighting. The tone around her and Turning Point USA has noticeably shifted. Online reactions are sharper, supporters are more divided, and recent events have made it clear that not everyone is on board with the direction things are heading. The leaked audio played a major role in that shift. Once it spread, people listened closely. Some said the tone felt energetic and focused on growth. Others said it sounded too business-oriented for such a sensitive moment. The discussion about merchandise sales and voter engagement so soon after a memorial event didn't sit right with a portion of the audience. Whether fair or not, that clip changed the conversation. From that point forward, scrutiny increased. Viewers began revisiting past interviews, public statements, and organizational decisions. Fundraising numbers started circulating online. Tour schedules were analyzed. Financial growth was discussed. To be clear, large nonprofit organizations often see surges in donations during high-visibility transitions. That alone isn't unusual. But when revenue growth and emotional timing intersect, perception becomes powerful.
Kirk rabbit hole never ends. She has now began her speaking tour called Make Heaven Crowded with Pastor Greg Laurie, who is head of the Harvest Christian Fellowship Church. And Greg Laurie got hit with serious allegations and lawsuits, allegedly, including claims from survivors. And guess where? Romania.
Then came the kickoff of the Make Heaven Crowded 2026 tour at Harvest Christian Church in Riverside. Inside, the message centered on faith, unity, and revival. Outside, protesters gathered. Different groups showed up with different concerns: immigration policy, international issues, and controversies connected to individuals tied to the venue. It wasn't a single narrative. It was multiple frustrations colliding at once. During the event, Erika addressed some of the opposition using strong spiritual language. Supporters viewed it as conviction. Critics saw it as escalation. Either way, the optics became more complicated. When leadership language intensifies during already tense moments, reactions tend to follow. At the same time, fundraising and event activity continued at full speed. Tours expanded, merchandise moved, public appearances increased. From a leadership standpoint, momentum can signal stability. From a public perception standpoint, some viewers felt the pace was unusually aggressive. That's where the central question emerges. Is this about continuing a mission with urgency, or has the tone shifted in a way that feels more strategic than reflective? There are no confirmed investigations or official findings of wrongdoing. Much of what's circulating remains speculation. But speculation often grows when transparency feels limited or when messaging and optics don't align with audience expectations. Right now, the conversation isn't about one clip or one protest. It's about cumulative perception. Financial growth, strong rhetoric, rapid expansion, and visible backlash all colliding at once.
Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring my husband in such a profound and meaningful way. And thank you for making this event a priority amid the peace process in the Middle East.
Whether this represents normal organizational evolution under pressure or a deeper shift in direction depends on who you ask. But one thing is clear. The scrutiny isn't fading, and in today's climate, once public trust starts to wobble, it takes more than momentum to steady it. That was only the beginning. After the leadership transition, fundraising numbers became a major talking point online. Public reports and promotional campaigns suggested that millions of dollars were raised in a relatively short period of time. One high-profile fundraiser promoted through major media platforms was said to bring in several million on its own.
It's interesting because he asked her the question, do you think these protests are helping? Personally, I do not. I think it's demonic.
Whether those figures are exact or estimated, the scale caught people's attention. When large amounts of money move quickly, people naturally start asking questions. At the same time, Erika stepped into the CEO role at Turning Point USA. Public records in prior years showed executive compensation in the hundreds of thousands annually, and that alone led many observers to assume that her compensation would likely fall within a similar range. Beyond salary, there are additional revenue streams connected to media projects, book royalties, and affiliated business ventures. All of that created the impression that her financial position stabilized very quickly. There were also publicly documented transactions, including the sale of a Scottsdale property earlier in 2025. Online discussions referenced the sale price and estimated remaining equity after fees. Again, none of this is inherently unusual.
Where were Charlie Kirk's parents during his memorial service? I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and I've been trying to look online. I'm like, no, I'm probably just missing.
Public figures often have diversified income sources. But when these financial details surface during an emotionally charged period, perception becomes amplified. As often happens online, speculation followed. Social media users began floating theories about hidden transfers, complex financial structures, private meetings, and even rumors about estate changes. To be clear, many of those specific claims were later reviewed and found to lack evidence. Fact-checkers did not verify claims about secret transfers. Alleged will changes were traced back to satire and manipulated content.
Had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium, overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then is it 100 million? We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps bumping.
Stories about closed-door financial maneuvers were tied to AI-generated clips and unverified posts that spread quickly. But here's the deeper issue. Even when rumors are debunked, the conversation doesn't automatically reset. Once people hear totals in the tens of millions, see nonstop fundraising efforts, and then revisit leaked audio that sounds business-focused, they stop analyzing what is technically legal and start reacting to what feels uncomfortable. Erika has pointed to charitable efforts as proof of positive intent.
Some more.
A widely shared donation from the Charlie Kirk Legacy Fund supported a young cancer patient. Later, she accepted a posthumous Presidential Medal of Freedom on Charlie's behalf from Donald Trump. On paper, those moments were meant to highlight generosity, legacy, and respect. For many supporters, they did. For others, the earlier doubts had already taken root. When money, grief, politics, and leadership changes intersect this quickly, some people struggle to separate optics from outcome. Once skepticism enters the picture, it tends to linger. That's why boycott discussions continue to surface online.
Erika Kirk.
Erika Kirk? Oh.
What do you think about Erika Kirk?
Would I get sued?
Throw it in the pile.
Oh,
of course you will.
I don't want to say anything that's controversial. She did it, but I don't want. She was on it.
That's why conversations about nonprofit oversight keep resurfacing. It's important to note there has been no confirmed IRS action publicly announced. The chatter remains speculation. However, discussions about transparency and organizational governance had been circulating for some time, even before recent controversies intensified. Some observers have pointed to past comments suggesting Charlie himself valued financial clarity and structure within the organization. That does not imply misconduct, but it adds context to why certain supporters interpret current events the way they do. Right now, the central issue isn't proof of wrongdoing, it's perception. And when perception shifts, rebuilding trust becomes far more difficult than raising funds. That context reshaped how many people interpreted everything that followed. One detail that resurfaced in online discussions was the idea that Charlie had at one point supported stronger financial transparency within the organization, including the possibility of an audit. Now, audits are common in large nonprofits. They don't automatically signal wrongdoing. But once that detail started circulating again, it influenced how some supporters processed later rumors. So when IRS speculation began trending online after his passing, a portion of the audience didn't see it as random internet noise. They connected it in their own minds to earlier conversations about transparency. To be clear, there has been no confirmed public action announced, and speculation does not equal evidence. But perception is powerful, especially when emotions are already high. Then came the leaked audio. Roughly 2 weeks after the memorial, a recording surfaced of Erika speaking with staff. Her tone surprised some listeners. She sounded focused, organized, and forward-looking. She discussed turnout, engagement numbers, merchandise, and voter registrations. Supporters interpreted it as leadership stepping in to keep momentum alive. Critics felt the timing was jarring. For many, the issue wasn't what was said, it was when it was said. The memorial was still fresh in people's minds. Hearing it framed in terms of performance metrics made some listeners uncomfortable. To them, it felt more like campaign strategy than reflection. That perception, fair or not, became a turning point in how certain former supporters viewed everything afterward. From there, people began revisiting earlier moments. Why were some family members less visible at key events? Why did public unity appear limited? Those questions don't come with confirmed answers, but once raised, they added another layer to the narrative. Recent events haven't quieted the discussion. High-energy crowd moments have circulated widely online. Some viewers see resilience and momentum. Others see something that feels out of sync with what they expected emotionally. Grief doesn't look the same for everyone. But when leadership style contrasts with audience expectations, reactions intensify. When you combine financial growth, transparency conversations, the leaked audio, and shifting optics, it explains why some former supporters are pulling back. Not because something has been legally proven, but because perception has shifted. And once perception changes, it's difficult to reverse. Right now, the real question isn't about a single rumor or clip. It's about long-term trust. Can the organization stabilize its base? Can messaging realign with audience expectations, or has the tone permanently changed? Whether you see this as normal evolution under pressure or as a mismanaged transition, one thing is clear: the audience is watching more closely than ever. If this breakdown helped you think through the situation more clearly, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives, and share it with someone who's been following this story.